Okay, so I was working out the day before yesterday with guess who?
Who?
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. I know, wait a minute. How about this one? Boom, boom, chitty, chitty, boom, boom. Chitty,
Dick
chitty,
Van
boom.
Dyke?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, God love him, man. 97 years old, comes into the gym, whistling, doing a soft shoe dance. And you know what he said?
What?
Hey, geez, I need to get a job. And I said, maybe I'll talk to people Saturday at Day of Days.
That's
So,
pretty brilliant.
yeah,
So
wouldn't
maybe
that be
Dick Van
great?
Dyke will be a long lost relative of John Black.
Wouldn't that be amazing? No, seriously.
be
He's
really
such a delightful gentleman. Just love that guy.
By the way, this is Drake Hogestyn. If you didn't know,
Hey,
everybody.
hi, I'm Drake.
Deidre is out with the fans.
You know, it wasn't my turn to watch her. We went to the bathroom. I brushed my teeth. She brushed her teeth, and I couldn't find her. I waited there at the door like a faithful husband, you know. And it's like, and then I went,
ran away.
did she come out early and take off? It's like,
So, how are you liking? What do you think about the move to Peacock, and how people are now kind of they're accepting it now, right?
you know, I'm just going by what everybody, the vibe of the people that I trust, because I don't know about the streaming and that. We're not going backwards. You know, I take it from when Ken Corday said, you know, the show started on radio. He said, and then, you know, after about a half a year of that, we actually walked 6 blocks down and went on television. And now we're going off of television onto streaming. So this is just being, you know,
It's like proactive, almost like.
yeah, you see which way it's going. Now, me, I'm that old guy. I don't have a smart TV. I don't. I don't have. My son said, "Dad, I'll bring over an Apple box, put it on there, get the Peacock, wrangle it up, put it on your TV set." I said, "Okay." He gave me the Apple box, and I'm working like mad. I couldn't get it to work, so he came over, and he said, "Let me." And, oh, you can't get it on this old Apple box. So I said, "Okay, I'll watch it on my telephone." I'm at the gym talking to the kids on my telephone. I said, "I got the show on my phone, but not on my TV." And they said, "You have a TV?" No, seriously. And I laughed. They said, we don't use TVs. They said, we travel all over the country. We got our phone. We watch all our shows on there and everything. And so maybe that's what I'll do now until I get a smart TV. Kids are on me. Dad said, get up to the 21st century.
So, how are you liking that? The Beyond Salem, the chapter 2, the specials you guys have done, and this, and John is still the hero of all time, right?
Well, I don't know about the hero. It's John and Marlena. We're the warm, fuzzy place of continuity. We are, you know, we've been have our ups and downs and everything else, but you can rely on John and Marlena to be there and to love each other, and now to guide with our wisdom, you know, our kids and our grandkids, and try to show them, you know, don't do all the pitfalls we went through, that type of thing. But that's what I feel that's my responsibility on this show. And Marlena, being the psychiatrist, you know, she can keep everybody, you know, mentally in tune.
How did you feel about the revisiting of the demonic possession story and kind of going back there and how it was played out this time?
Well, you know, that's interesting because when it first was I first saw it, I thought, well, how do you improve upon perfection? I really liked that first time around. That was, boy, it was, you know, it really was, and I hold it very close to me as Marlena does too. But then there are so many changes. You know, you find the grain of the devil's workshop is so rampant nowadays in a lot of different areas. Is the way I look at it. And I was talking to Susan Seaforth Hayes about this when we first started with some of the prayers, and I said we've got a responsibility to know that there's a right and a wrong. There are rules and regulations and laws, and you can't treat them as suggestions, or there are prices to pay. And so I remember we sat down together and we just had a long prayer to say together, and we were right in cadence with it. And that kind of set us off into the right mark. And then we leave it up to Ron to spin his magic, you know, in his own way. And we were off and running. And there were a lot of twists and turns in that storyline, and passing the baton off to the grandchild, you know. And
Everybody was possessed.
Yeah.
But so you thought it was cool? Or,
Yeah.
Or don't play with history? Because it was so great back then.
You know, you play every story on days as though it's the first. Let's just say Marlena was kidnapped. Oh, that's never happened before. Well, you know what? when I get a storyline like that, it's never happened before.
Right.
It's happening for the first time.
Right.
It might be, well, okay, yeah, it's happened before, but now there are a new list of players that might be responsible. Could be this guy, and start checking them off and go to work. And you find that thread of truth again, as you know, that works for you as an actor, and you latch onto that, and that's where you swing for the fences. Because the second you put your tongue in your cheek, the audience sees that. They know that he's not invested in this bzz, bzz, bzz sound you hear as him fast forwarding through. And the audience is as invested in days as I am invested in days. And I wouldn't cheat myself, and I'd never cheat the audience.
Some wonderful work you did when Marlena was dying or sick, and John was just so gutted, you know, at his bed. And I remember thinking to myself, all these years, I just feel like you've even become a finer actor over all the years. Like, do you feel like you've become a better actor over the years?
I came out of, professional baseball, and, there is no crying in baseball.
Right.
We went through personalization exercises with Columbia Pictures when I first came out here with Sidney Pollack and Martin Ritt. And they were saying, you know what, he's not ready for that breakthrough yet, but when it happens, it's going to be kind of hard to stop it. I've gotten to the point now in scenes such as what you're talking about. It's kind of like when Deidre said, do you want the tear out of the left eye or the right eye, and on what beat? And I thought she was kidding. I can do that now. Right. And you've got some scenes coming up that you'll see in the near future that are getting back into some gut-wrenching moments, and but not difficult to play, but also playing them as though it's happening for the first time. And that's where the real the magic comes in and the acting comes in, if you want to call it that. I remember there was a producer one time called me and said he wanted me to do a show, and he said, I think you've come a long way from being an eyebrow actor. And I went, but he was probably right on the money, and it's you learn and you grow as you go through this. You try to be as natural as possible, but I can't help punch points of view in scenes that I think the audience needs to know. I mean, I could lay it out there, but everybody acts differently, and I just rely on Deidre to save my ass in all those scenes.
Well, I know you got to go. Drake, thank you so much for taking some
Always,
time.
Michael.
It's so great to see you.
Good to see you.
Watch him on Days of Our Lives on Peacock.